Hi, I'm Arthur Anderson, and this is the Bachelor C-Suite Edition. And this is...
Hi, I'm Steve Miller, Acting CEO of Waste Management. What the contestants don't know is that I'm not looking to turn any of these C-Suites into my C-Suite. I'm just looking to balance my revenues and expenses and produce clean financials.
Hi, I'm Herbert Getz. You can call me Herb.
Cheers! I could never be an actor.
No.
And now it's time to introduce our current candidates.
Hello, I'm Dean Buntrock. I'm the founder of this great company. So you're gonna see why I'm so great and why this company is so great. Nice to meet you.
Look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Philip Rooney, current President, Director, and Chief Executive Officer of Waste Management. I also manage our 70% revenue earning Waste Management North America. I'm a big deal. I have a lot of responsibility.
Wow.
So it's great to have you on board.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bruce Tobickson, how you doing?
Pleasure to meet you.
Director of Finance. Pretty intelligent guy. You're going to want to work with me a lot.
Wow.
Hey, I'm James Koenig. I'm the current VP and CFO of Waste Management. I'm the one who really makes things happen around here. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, I'm Thomas Howe. I'm the current controller and chief accounting officer at Waste Management. I've been around a while, first as an auditor and now as an executive. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you as well.
Hi, I'm Herbert Getz. You can call me Herb. I'm Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary of Waste Management. It's good to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. All right, everyone. I just want to say I'm really looking forward to a long and prosperous relationship, but I want to let you know up front that I'm not looking for a match made in heaven. I just want to match revenues and expenses. Cheers.
Cheers!
Hey Dean, nice cover there trying to hype everyone up about all the earnings targets, goals, and all that stuff. When honestly, we could just wave our little magic wand and all the numbers will work out. So what are you going to say to the new CEO when you meet with him?
Well, we're just gonna see if he's on our team. If he likes to do things the way Waste Management likes to do things.
Yeah, sounds great. I totally agree. I'm definitely going to go in there and make sure he knows how valuable I am to the team. And then, slide some ideas past him and gauge his interest in certain activities. Might have him over to my beach house in the Bahamas. Lord knows I could retire today and live like kings forever.
All right. Okay. So, just so you know, everything, keep doing what you're doing. We need to make the numbers happen this year, so keep it up. Do what needs to happen to make that happen, if you know what I mean. All right. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
So what are you guys thinking?
So I did figure out a new way that we can calculate depreciation expense the other day. It's looking pretty good.
Good idea. We can maybe do some one-off accounting.
I can definitely override the controls.
I can review and approve everything, so we're good.
Like that.
Love it.
I think the depreciation will be great. That will take us a long ways.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can definitely make the financials look how we want them to look.
Oh, yes.
Great idea.
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, Waste Management, I've loved this company. I'm just so glad that I was able to start this, and I've been fortunate to make a lot of money, but I've paid it all forward. I've donated a lot of money, so much so I got $700,000 in tax benefits, and get this, I donated stock to my alma mater, and they named a building after me. So that is pretty fantastic. And you know what? That's what happens when hard work pays off.
Jeez, a lot of free cash flow there.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Super excited to be here. I'm the chief accounting officer here at Waste Management and really excited to see Arthur again.
How do you know Arthur?
We were partners on the Waste Management audit back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Made the switch to Waste Management ever since and been super happy.
So tell me about yourselves.
I'm an attorney. I'm on the Illinois bar, which is pretty cool. High up.
How about you?
Currently a CPA and the CFO of the company, as I told you earlier.
Wow.
I also enjoy cooking outside of work.
What do you like to cook?
The books, pasta.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, as I'm sure you've heard from Dean, myself and all the people here at Waste Management really pride ourselves in making our earnings targets every quarter. We just go by the mantra, you don't make those targets, you don't eat. Am I right?
How do you know you're gonna hit your targets though?
Well, there's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some accounting here and there, things like that.
But like, I don't understand how you are so certain that you're gonna achieve your target goals.
Yeah, so I sign off on all the financial statements. I definitely make sure write-offs that are bad news might not happen, and that just negative items that could like look bad on our financial statements just are put somewhere else.
Okay, good to know, thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Bruce Tobixon. I'm the Director of Finance. So yeah, I like to consider myself a numbers person. I actually figured out the way that we currently calculate depreciation expense in the financials.
Isn't depreciation set by GAAP?
Yeah, I don't really worry about so much of the GAAP standard, but I can tell you that we only took a few liberties in calculating depreciation expense.
So how do you know that's not going to negatively impact investors?
I'm the Director of Finance. I don't really worry about investors that much. I would deflect that question to the CAO.
Okay, well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hey, Philip and Dean, can you guys come over here for a minute? Yeah. So guys, I'm getting pretty worried. I don't know if this new CEO really knows the way we do things around here, and so I really think it's time we finally book those adjusting journal entries that we've been pushing off for a little while. What do y'all think?
Are you kidding me? Are you chickening out now? Like, I think booking an entry like this would be a terrible idea. That'd cause like $1 or $2 billion in losses, and that's not going to happen, Arthur. We don't pay you this kind of money to say things like that.
Yeah. Why do you think we're doing all this?
All right, good point. I think we can make it work.
That's why
Got
I
Good
thought.
deal. Good deal.
Welcome and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, the performance of waste management is pivotal in this crazy trash world. As a result, I've ordered a review of the financial statements. We're going to have to make some tough choices, and I look forward to working with you guys today. And Dean Buntrock, the founder of Waste Management, please step forward. Arthur, you've actually done enough. Here's a $7 million fine, the largest civil penalty to date. Thank you. Dean, our conversation was very insightful, and as a result of our conversation, I want to have your SEC mandated removal from Waste Management effective immediately, as well as a $19 million fine. I hope you find what you're looking for.
It was time to retire anyways.
Will Philip Rooney, Chief Operating Officer of Waste Management, please step forward. Philip, your passion for money is phenomenal. So phenomenal, in fact, that you have an SEC mandated $9 million fine and immediate removal from the company. Congratulations. Will Bruce Tobixon, Director of Finance, please step forward. Bruce, your fine is less than the contestants, only $750,000.
You know, my fine might have been less than everyone else, but I feel like my calculations were pivotal to this fraud. Success. Tobixon out.
James Koenig, CFO of Waste Management, please step forward. James, here's a $2.5 million fine, and you are permanently barred from serving as an officer or director of a public company. Congratulations. Well, Thomas Howe, Chief Accounting Officer, and Herbert Getz, General Counsel of Waste Management, please step forward. Thomas, for your role in this fraud, you have a $1.5 million fine. Congrats. Herb, you are disbarred from practicing law in addition to a $1.1 million fine. Thank you for your service.
How was your experience? How do you think everything went?
I think we all did the best we could. I started this company many years ago, and then in February 1997, I just thought it was kind of time for me to retire because I've been in the industry for a long time. But I did my best to work with my team. I did put a lot of pressure on them because we did our best just to take advantage of any opportunity that we had, and we just kind of rationalized what we were doing.
So, why did you do it? Waste management was at the top of our game. We were facing a lot of pressure from our competitors like Republic Services, and we just wanted to remain at the top. I stand by what we did.
With the dirty managers gone, I dug into the financial statements. As it turns out, between 1992 and 1997, Waste Management had overstated their earnings by about $1.7 billion. And this was done through a couple of mechanisms. Namely, we have netting and geography. So netting is essentially taking unrelated gains and offsetting them with operating expenses to make it look like they realize less income and have to pay less tax. And geography is moving things between line items in order to make it look more favorable for your company. For example, Waste Management had an item of income known as sundry income, which are things that are not material within themselves, but in aggregate, they have a line item known as sundry income. And rather than reporting this as income, they're reporting it as a negative expense, which is slightly misleading to investors. And so this is how they were initially reporting their financials. As you can see, they have good looking operating expenses, their gross profit looks good, they have a small loss in sundry income, but who really cares? And their net income looks good. How they should have been stating it was to not offset operating losses against gains from unrelated activities, which would reduce their operating expenses, their operating expenses increase, that looks worse. Their gross profit goes down, that looks worse. Sundry income would go up, but it's a small gain, and their net income is almost cut in half. And this is specifically for 1995. So as you can see, these practices make your financial statements go from looking pretty good to pretty bad. And as a result, you have a little bit of green for a lot of red. And overall, investors were pretty screwed out of their money. And so essentially, it's rather ironic that for a company called Waste Management, it turns out the managers were the true waste.